and welcome to this edition of Inside Kennedy Football, your weekly look at the Eagle football program. My name is Josh Powers. Coming up on this edition of Inside Kennedy Football, we recap the huge win for Kennedy last week against Minneapolis Southwest with the head coach, Kedrick Williams. A couple of the players stopped by in the players segment, Rajon Walker and Aaron Blassingame. We'll catch up with brand new assistant coach, Daryl Moffitt, our former color commentator for Kennedy football, and we'll bring back Karen Eileen from last week to talk about the Gertons fundraiser. We had some audio troubles. Certainly glad to have Karen back this week as well. But first, the head coach, Kedrick Williams. Been doing this for 15 years, Kedrick. One of the biggest wins for Kennedy football in my time covering the team. You guys go on the road, undefeated Minneapolis Southwest. They're top 10 in the entire 5A, and you guys upset them, and it was not a fluke.
I appreciate that, Josh. Hello out there to Eagle Nation. Before we get started talking, let me tell Eagle Nation right now, if you go to Culver's, we're out there in front of Culver's on Nicollet Avenue. I just want to put that out there. Go out, get you a burger for dinner. Josh, it was great to see that last Friday against Southwest. Our guys were pumped. We were ready. We played Southwest very tough last year for 3 quarters. Unfortunately, the first quarter, they got ahead, and we weren't able to catch up with them. This year, they had that in mind. You know, we were really determined throughout the week. We talked about discipline and staying focused in the game.
So much to unpack from this game, Coach, but certainly a great start as we look through the highlights of this one. There are so many to choose from for this big win. You guys put up 30 points on the board. It started out, ironically, special teams here, Coach. You get a big-time kicker, 35-yard field goal, and just gets you, pun intended here, I guess, off on the right foot.
You know, really, that was a call I had to make just to put some points on the board, you know, and this is our kicker, Honor Melgrave. We had him 2 years ago. Honor is back with us as a senior now, and he's a great kicker.
Yeah, just splits the uprights there, a big-time kick. We've already seen kicks win and lose games at Bloomington Stadium with Jefferson a couple weeks back, and that was big for you, and you guys needed all those points, as we'll get into. And then it just continued, Coach. The special teams was huge for you guys. Here you get a blocked punt, scoop and score, and you guys go up 9-0.
You know, I have to laugh about this because this is a kid who's just out here to play football for fun. That's Ronnie Cartledge there, and you see him, he grabs it, throws it down. I don't know. Ronnie just a great touchdown for Ronnie. We'll say that.
I'm glad they ruled that a touchdown. It did look like he had control, and then once he hit the ground in the end zone, he had already obviously crossed the goal line there.
Correct.
Well ruled, a touchdown. Special teams again, Coach.
Yes.
Later in the game, Marquez Monroe.
Yes.
Southwest had just scored. They've got the momentum, and Marquez ends this momentum, and he just basically puts on a cape here, Coach, and just goes all the way down the field.
He's having a great junior season. Marquez is our D1 recruit right now. He's a great athlete, a great team leader. And all during the game, he was up and down the sideline, just assuring everybody we're not losing, and having the right mentality. Here you see him, you know, break a couple of tackles even. In between that, he goes in, comes back out, breaks a tackle there, you know, breaks another tackle there, and then he just takes off, you know. Often coaches ask me what his 40 is. I say it's football speed. It's not lightning fast. It's football speed.
Well, how well do you run with the shoulder pads and the helmets on when people are chasing you is maybe more important than what you do in shorts and a T-shirt. But that was a big-time play for you guys. And then offensively in the second half, you have a couple of long touchdown drives. I think one was 14 plays. I believe the other one was 15 plays. Yep. We'll see the first of 2 here as you're able to punch it in with Javon. Just a great run. But I thought your second half, execution-wise, was on point.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that and acknowledging that. Here, you know, like you said, we're just going to play power football, run downhill. And that's really our mentality. Credit to the lineman there. Giving him a lane to run through. You know, I want to, the linemen never really get credit.
Right.
I want to give a shout out to our line up there, Jason, Jeff, Torres, Danny, Michael, all those guys who play line, Corey, all the people who sacrificed for us and really help us, you know, be successful this year.
Yeah, you had the big ground game too, well over 100 yards. You were very balanced on offense. And then really you put the game away. I know it got a little bit tight there at the end, but another double-digit play drive. And Zach this time, what has he been doing all year, Coach? He's been able to find the end zone, and he does so around the edge again here on this next play.
You know, Zach, and again, I'm glad you mentioned Zach, because Zach is really showing a great maturity level as a senior captain. The team has really rallied behind Zach this year. He's pulling things. He's making plays. He even got some juke moves in there. we were pretty much laughing, teasing him about that a little bit, just seeing Jack Jess make a little juke move.
The last play, my fault for not pulling it. We'll maybe get to it on the season highlight recap on the last episode, but Southwest gets to within a touchdown. Late in the game, you need a first down to seal it. It's 3rd and long. You trust Zach to put it up in the air. Elijah Smith goes up and makes a terrific catch in traffic. The sideline just erupted for you guys to put the game away. What was it like being out there in that moment to make that big play?
You know, that's the difference between losing teams and successful teams right there, Josh. You know, last year we probably don't make that play. 2-3 years ago, we don't make that play. So I'm just really glad that the kids are really understand what success is. Players make plays. You know, at the end of the game, players make plays. And that's 2 weeks in a row that Elijah has come to play. The catch was bobbled, fumbled, and he still stayed with it, focused, concentration. And you're right. It was the most important catch of the game that allowed us to go ahead and win and be successful.
Just a massive win. It does a lot for you. Obviously, you're above 500 again, now 3-2, but you even widened the gap in the QRF rankings.
Yes.
You're still number 2 in the section behind St. Thomas. And with just 3 weeks left, there's some big games coming up for your team.
We do. This was a big game also within our district. This allowed us to be district champions this year. That hasn't succeeded at Kennedy for quite a while. So I just want to throw that out there, too. Thank you to all the Eagle fans who keeps coming out for us, whether it's home or away. You know, I give credit to those guys. Every game we acknowledge our fans, we acknowledge our community, and that's really what it's about, Josh. A community on the east side of Bloomington really pulling together to see these kids have success. I'm just amazed by the way the community has stepped up and got our support.
Yeah, you and Southwest, just the only teams with 1 loss, and obviously you win the head-to-head, so...
Right.
Just congratulations, Coach. And now,
Thank you.
As you know, another game coming up this week. De La Salle, the opponent, a team that has struggled. So they haven't won a game yet this year. So what's your message to the team? You're coming off such a big high with a huge win last week against an undefeated team, and you might look at their record as they're browsing the internet or whatever kids want to do. But what's your message to the team as you get ready for De La Salle this week?
Really, the message to the team right now is that we really have been in this place before, right? We've been here. We've been an 0-5 team at the year begging for a win, trying to get a win. And I just have those guys remember that feeling. You know, De La Salle is going to come out and play us the hardest anybody has played us all year, Josh. You know, we're going to have to show that we've matured, we've moved on, we've grown from our previous losses, and that we're ready to withstand that challenge this week.
All right, Coach, just congrats again on a tremendous win. That does a lot for the program. District champs this year.
Yes.
I know a lot's been accomplished already, and it's great to say that knowing that there's a lot of big games coming up for you on the schedule as well.
Right. And I just want to say before I leave out, you know, Josh, I'm just so excited about seeing some Kennedy alumni this weekend at the homecoming game. Come out, support us. We want to pack the stands at, Lincoln Field for the first time in a long time. Eastside Pride.
All right, we'll check it out. Can't wait for the game on Friday, Coach. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Eagle Nation.
All right, that's the head coach, Kedrick Williams. When we come back, it's the players segment. Aaron Blasingame and Rajon Walker stop by on Inside Kennedy Football.
As head coach of the Kennedy Eagles football program, I am so excited that the 2021 season is on. I would like to personally invite you, your friends, family, and the community out to support our program. We have been working very hard to provide an entertaining style of football that you will enjoy. The Eagles are ready to kick it.
It's our time. Come fly with the Eagles.
Back on Inside Kennedy Football, the Eagles' homecoming game is approaching this week. We'll have it for you live on BEC-TV Friday night as the Eagles take on De La Salle, and it's the new district champion Eagles, and a couple of players join me, Rajon Walker, Aaron Blasingame. Appreciate the time, guys. Rajon, how does that sound to you? I know there's still 3 games left in the regular season. Coach keeps wanting you to look ahead, but as you get that big win on Friday last week, to know that you're district champs, how does that feel?
I feel like that was big for us. I feel like it feels good, feel like we accomplished something, but we ain't accomplished what needs to be done yet though. So we still got more to work for.
Aaron, what was the mood of the team after that big win against Minneapolis Southwest? Everyone knows they were undefeated, top 10 in Class 5. How did it feel to walk out of their stadium with the W?
Of course, it felt good, like all wins do, but our team is one that stays dedicated and one that stays true to our purpose, and we always are mindset of moving forward and advancing to the next game. So we're preparing for the next one, kind of forgetting the old one.
We had Jefferson's homecoming last week. Rajon asked you kind of the same questions. There wasn't a big homecoming festivities last year with COVID, and now things are kind of getting closer to normal, right? Well, hopefully there's a big crowd on Friday. It has to feel good as a student to have kind of that normal homecoming week with all the festivities, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, cause you know, I ain't felt this I ain't felt this environment before, so it should be fun.
Rajon, you've really emerged this year as we've always seen you kind of a defensive player, as a safety, great player there. You've really emerged this year as a wide receiver. You lead the team in touchdown catches and yards receiving. What has been the key? Obviously, you got to have a good quarterback throwing you the ball too, but what has been the key in that development on your side?
Just like having connections with the quarterback, you know, knowing the plays, knowing what you're doing, and just stuff like that. Stay focused. Yeah.
Aaron, you're a defensive back as well and also on special teams. Let me ask you a special teams question because we saw some big-time plays. You get a field goal. It wasn't a chip shot field goal. That was a 35-yard field goal, right? You get a big kick return touchdown on special teams and a block punt. That's a lot of points contributed on special teams. It had to feel good to contribute to that unit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always feels good to be able to stop or halt the advance from the offense and stuff like that, especially when we're doing it all right and everyone knows what they're doing on the field.
All right, we talked a little bit about this backstage, but you've got some famous relatives, right, that are involved in football. So talk us through some of that family tree that's performing at a high level right now.
Right now I have a cousin that plays football for Nebraska, and they're coming on the 16th to play against our Gophers. I also have an older cousin that's in the NFL playing for the Titans as well.
Can you name them if you don't mind?
Sure. Marquez Buford plays for Nebraska. He's currently one of their corners. And then Kahari Blasingame, he is a fullback for the Titans.
And how are they related to you, Aaron?
They're my cousins. Yeah.
All right. Well, no offense to Marquez, but we're going to have to try to shut him down, Gopher alum a couple weeks from now. So hopefully we'll get that big win. But I hope he performs well, so it's great to have that in your background. But back to you, Rajon. From a defensive standpoint, you're back there as a safety. You got Marquez back there. I mean, that's got to be one of the better safety combinations probably in the state of Minnesota. What is it like to have such a strong duo back there, kind of as that last line of defense to make sure nothing crazy happens behind you?
I just feel like our connection is like outside of football, it's like our connection's there. Either way it's on the field or outside of school or something. Me and Marquez, we bond. Just like even when we're with each other, we bond no matter what. We it's like the connection. Like we call each other twin because it's like we both just like, it's like.
You've kind of grown up on the team together, right?
Yeah, basically we've been playing with each other since BA. You know, I moved out here in like 3rd grade. Started playing BA I think 5th grade or something like that. So yeah, you know, I've been knowing Marquez for a while. So yeah.
All right, guys. Well, best of luck on Friday. We'll be rooting hard for you guys. Happy homecoming as well. We'll check on down with you down the line, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Rajon Walker and Aaron Blasingame on the Players segment. Coming up next, we check in with an old friend, Daryl Moffitt, stops by when Inside Kennedy Football continues.
Kennedy High School is excited to welcome back fans for the 2021 football season. Masks are strongly recommended, but not required. There's no capacity limits, and we're excited to have people back.
The Kennedy Foundation also helps support the football team here at Kennedy. Season passes are available on our website, and Spiritwear is also available for purchase at the Kennedy games. It takes a village, it takes a community. We'll see you at the football game. Fly with the Eagles! Fly with the Eagles!
Back on Inside Kennedy Football, the district champ Kennedy Eagles will be having their homecoming on Friday. De La Salle, the opponent. We'll have it for you on BEC-TV at 7 o'clock, or better yet, coming out to Bloomington Stadium and cheer on the Eagles to hopefully another win. Well, an old friend now stops by, former color commentator for Kennedy, but I know he's moved on to bigger and better things now, assistant coach for Kennedy, Daryl Moffitt. Daryl, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It feels good to be back. It feels good to sit here and talk to you. But I am happy to be back on the sideline. That's where I belong.
We miss your insights in the booth, but I know Coach Kedrick, I assume you're more useful to him, more valuable to him when you share those insights on the sideline. So what has it been like? What was it like to get that transition, and what were those conversations as you joined the coaching staff this year?
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest. It was something different when I got into the booth at first, and I was used to being on the sideline. That first game, I was kind of used to being in the booth and had to get used to being back on the sidelines. But it's been a blast. I love the kids. I love the coaching staff. I love the camaraderie. I love how much fun we have. I love how much they work. You know, they really, really decided that they wanted to be good this year. And when Coach Kedrick said that he wanted me to come back, I had to take a little thought, and I had to take some time, because the reason why I stepped away was because of the fact that I really just needed a break from coaching for a little bit. But I missed it, and I'm glad that he asked me to come back, and it's been a blast.
You're helping with the quarterbacks this year, and I don't have to tell you the quarterback spot with Zach, his improvement from week one to how he's been playing now, where he's been so efficient, so good in both the pass and the run. I mean, what have you seen as you've been working with him and the other quarterbacks? Because it seems as an area that maybe was a question mark at the beginning of the year, and now it's a strength.
Well, it's something that we kind of talked about when we were in the booth for a while. We kind of felt like Zach had some things, just needed to tighten up some loose ends. And with Zach, he just earned it. He won the job. He was in the weight room. He watches film. Everything that Zach, all the success that he's had, he's earned it and he's deserved it. Week by week, we put something on his plate and he just eats it up. Really proud of the fact that last week we asked him, you know, to win the game, and he won the game. He put the game in his hands, and that's something that we haven't seen from the quarterback position at Kennedy in a while. So I'm very proud of Zach.
And we talked about building blocks throughout the year with Coach Williams, and we've seen it, right? Your team has been able to pull out close games. Your team has been able to dominate a game or come back in a game, even in a loss to Richfield, and now to put away a good opponent on your terms. It's just like Coach said in the first segment, it's something that we haven't seen from Kennedy in a long time.
Well, it's been kind of a metamorphosis, I would say. The first game of the season, we were really trying to find out who we were, and I think every team is trying to find out who they are the first game of the season. Seeing this team kind of turn into a team that could potentially be good. Now it's like, okay, so how good do we want to be? Under Coach Williams, Coach K does an outstanding job of challenging these kids every single week, so they understand the theme of what that week is, and they've risen to the occasion every single week, whether it's a win or a loss. They've showed up, so it's been nice to see, and I'm excited what we're going to see in the next couple of weeks.
What was that bus ride back to Bloomington after that big win? You're district champs. You won on the road in a tough game. I have to imagine it was pretty raucous in there.
Well, I didn't ride the bus because I had to drive up because I worked. That's why I'm still in my work clothes. But it was wet, I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
I'm glad that the rain came down afterwards, but they were ecstatic. They were excited. I mean, the beginning of the game, you wouldn't even think that we were playing for anything in particular. And I think that's one of the testaments to this team, is they're just going out there playing football. They're just having a blast. You got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff and the way that they prepare. And I felt like this week was one of the first weeks where we were prepared to play football. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. It was like a calmness almost, that we just knew we were going to go out there and win. I think at one point we got down and I turned around and everybody, there was no like fear in their hearts. There was no fear in their eyes. We knew we were going to come back and win, and that was great.
Well, you weren't down for, it was about 10 seconds while Marquez had that kickoff return, and you guys were in the lead for good. One thing I want to talk about as we close, Daryl, your work throughout the Twin Cities community, football, basketball, all the sports. You mentioned you needed a breather, but my gosh, you are everywhere. You're at tournaments all the time. Just talk briefly, if you don't mind, about all the things you do with youth sports around the Twin Cities area.
Well, I love basketball. I love football. I just love youth sports in general. I'm glad that my wife allows me the opportunity to do a lot of that stuff. I own a company called Love the Game Sports. where we do a lot of camps and stuff. We've done a camp over in Lower Brule, South Dakota on the reservation. That was awesome. That was huge for us this year. I'm the head basketball coach over at Twin Cities Academy, and that's awesome. And we're going to have a pretty good team this year. I'm excited. We did pretty good in Fall League. I just like being around kids. I love what sport has done for me as an individual and the things that it's given me, and it's helped me stand on my values. And I just want to give back in any way possible. So when Coach Williams asked me to come back, all I needed was the yes from the boss lady, and I was on my way.
Well, you've made a big difference, I know, to a lot of kids throughout your years, Daryl, and certainly you made a difference on the Kennedy staff this year. We miss you in the booth, but we're glad you're helping the Eagles to a great season this year.
It's great to be back, but it's going to be a while till I come back. I enjoy myself, but this is way more fun.
All right, Daryl, great to see you. Best of luck on Friday, all right?
Thanks, Josh.
All right, that's assistant coach, quarterbacks coach, Daryl Moffitt. Around the other side of this break, we'll catch back up with Karen Eileen, and she'll talk about the Gertons fundraiser when Inside Kennedy Football continues.
The Kennedy Foundation mission is to be a hand up financially to help students in activities and athletics. All students have the ability to participate in any sport or activity regardless of your prior experience. Kennedy is a well-versed school. Lots of opportunities for students to thrive and be their best. Anyone can join us in helping with our fundraising efforts, like purchasing one of our Love Your Melon caps available on our website, purchasing a season pass that is available to all varsity games for both Jefferson and Kennedy throughout the entire school year, and last but not least, join us on Monday nights at Bingo at the Sports Page. See you there!
On Inside Kennedy Football, final segment of this week's show as the Eagles get ready for their big homecoming game. District champs are going to try to improve to 4-2. They take on De La Salle Friday night. We'll have it for you on BEC-TV, but better yet, it's going to be a beautiful Friday night by all accounts. Head on over to Bloomington Stadium and cheer on the Eagles. Karen Eileen back for another week. I know we had some audio troubles last week, so we want to make sure we get all that cleaned up. And you can talk about the Gertons fundraiser. Before we talk about that, I want to know, who has more energy, Karen Eileen or Rachel Keller?
I think it's a toss-up. I think it's a toss-up. But I think that, Josh, for the studio, sometimes you can just do everything right, and there's a gremlin in the house. And they don't pay rent. They just make trouble. And, there's the consequences of it. So here we go.
Yeah, maybe the same gremlin that had the power come out in East Bloomington. We didn't even get to record Jefferson last week. So, but we're back here now, and I know you want to talk about the Gertons fundraiser. We've got some graphics we can show you. But talk about what exactly customers will get if they participate in the Gertons fundraiser, and also how it benefits Kennedy football.
You know what it is, Josh, is that it's so easy and it's early. So people can go online and they can see the displays. There's 3 different colors of poinsettias, different sizes, different embellishments, and the pots have glitter snowflakes on them. And then they have cyclamen, and there's a garland, there's a 25-foot garland that's available. So that will all come to Kennedy High School the day before Thanksgiving. And there will be a drive-through. That's Coach's idea. Have a drive-through pickup of all of the flowers and the greenery right before Thanksgiving dinner.
Perfect time of year to get ready for the holidays. Yes. I know it's going to be around the corner sooner rather than later. And so obviously we talked about this last week, but for those who maybe missed it, you have a special association with the team. We saw him catch a big 2-point conversion in the game on Friday night. How do you know one of the Kennedy players?
I know that Kennedy player is Christopher Martin. And Christopher is from a history of basketball players. My mother played basketball, and she was a slam dunk. I went to an academy, females couldn't play in my day. And his aunties are basketball, his mom is basketball, but Christopher picked up the football. But even when he was really, really, really little, he was anything round. He was watching his dad shoot baskets, and he was throwing everything round, all around. And it was like, whoa, slow down, little guy. But Christopher is quite the guy. My firstborn grandson.
If people want to get involved, where can they go to help participate in the Gertons fundraiser and pick up some beautiful holiday decor for their own home?
Go to GurtonsFundraiser.com, and Kennedy School is number 318. You need to put that in. And I really want to make a point to give credit to the player that the buyers are supporting. And whoever the team member is that you may be affiliated with, please put their name in there, because there's a little contest going on. I won't say that very loud.
Okay, well, we'll keep it on the down low, except for those who heard it live here on television.
I know. And you know, Josh, poinsettias won't be available until holiday time. The greenery designs won't be available, but I stopped and picked up a live evergreen branch, and it's so beautiful. The only thing we can do with this today is the fragrance of this. I mean, you can look at the beauty, but you can have the fragrance, and the fragrance will be with the garland that's available, and the garland, 25 feet long. You can wind it around a tomato cage and have a Christmas tree topiary. So you can get creative.
So many great uses, great ideas, and it does support Kennedy football.
Yes.
So again, Girton's fundraiser. Karen, Eileen, I appreciate the time. I'm sure we'll see you rooting hard for the team on Friday. Hopefully it's another big win for Kennedy.
Indeed, indeed. And you know, come on, folks, come on out and support this team. And you know, other grandparents, come on out.
It should be a great Friday night. Weather should not be a reason to stay home. So get on out and support Kennedy District Champs, their homecoming game. Hopefully the Eagles can pack the stands on Friday against De La Salle. 7 o'clock, the kickoff, as Kennedy takes to the field yet again. And that'll wrap up this edition of Inside Kennedy Football. For our entire crew, this is Josh Powers saying good night from our studios.